Two Barndominium layouts, same square footage, same budget, same beautiful steel frame structure. But one of them is going to give you a private outdoor courtyard, better natural light, and a layout your family will actually love living in. And the other one is going to give you something completely different, better separation, better zoning, and a footprint that works on land the first design simply can't touch. I'm talking about the two most popular Barndominium floor plan shapes dominating the market in 2026, the U-shape and the H-shape. And here's the problem. Most people building a Barndominium right now are choosing between these two shapes based on nothing more than a photo they liked on Pinterest. No understanding of what each shape actually does structurally, spatially, or financially. No idea which one fits their specific block of land, their family's lifestyle, or their long-term plans. That is an expensive mistake to make on a home this size. Today, I'm breaking down exactly how the U-shape and the H-shape Barndominium differ, what each one is brilliant at, where each one falls short, what they cost to build, and which one is actually right for your situation. Stay with me until the very end, because I'm going to give you the simple 3-question test that tells you instantly which shape you should be building. It's the same framework architects use, and once you hear it, choosing between these two layouts becomes obvious.
Quick pause. If Barndominium design is your thing, hit that like and subscribe right now. New content every week. 2 seconds, let's get into the comparison.
Here's where Barndominium design stands in 2026. The Barndominium has fully matured from a rural curiosity into one of the most popular residential building types in the country. Prized for its structural resilience, its dramatically lower cost per square foot compared to traditional construction, and its architectural flexibility. As Barndominium design has matured, the simple rectangular shed-style layout has given way to more sophisticated footprints, and two shapes have emerged as the dominant choices for homeowners who want more than a basic box: the U-shape and the H-shape. Both deliver more complexity, more zoning opportunity, and more architectural interest than a standard rectangle, but they achieve it in fundamentally different ways, and understanding that difference is the key to choosing correctly.
The U-shaped Barndominium explained. Let's start with the U-shape. Picture 3 wings of the building connected at one end, wrapping around 3 sides of a central outdoor space, like a horseshoe. The open end of the U typically faces the best view, the rear garden, or the direction with the most natural light and privacy. What makes the U-shape work? The central space created by the 3 wings becomes a private, sheltered outdoor courtyard, protected from wind and street view on 3 sides, completely open and connected to the home through sliding glass doors on every wing that faces it. In 2026, this courtyard is consistently the most loved space in U-shaped Barndominium builds. The layout logic. One wing typically houses the main living, dining, and kitchen zone, positioned centrally so it has views and access to the courtyard from the widest possible angle. A second wing houses the primary suite, positioned for privacy at one end. The third wing houses secondary bedrooms, a home office, or in many 2026 builds, a workshop or garage that connects the practical functions of a working property to the home without compromising the residential wings. The structural reality. A U-shape requires 3 separate roof and wall runs meeting at 2 internal corners. This adds modest complexity compared to a single rectangular shed structure, additional flashing, additional structural connections at each corner, and a slightly higher per square foot build cost as a result. In 2026, that premium typically sits at 8 to 15% above an equivalent rectangular Barndominium. What you get for that premium: a private courtyard that functions as an additional outdoor room, natural light entering from multiple directions into every wing, a sense of spatial separation between living zones without needing additional internal walls, and a street-facing facade that reads as considered architectural rather than a converted shed.
Now the H-shape, and this is where the comparison gets genuinely interesting. Picture 2 parallel wings connected by a central connecting bar, like the letter H. Unlike the U-shape's single enclosed courtyard, the H-shape creates 2 separate outdoor zones, one on each side of the connecting bar, each associated with a different wing of the home line. What makes the H-shape work? Complete separation between zones. One wing of an H-shaped Barndominium can function as the primary living wing, bedrooms, living areas, kitchen. The opposite wing can function as something entirely different, a workshop, a guest suite, a home business space, or in multi-generational 2026 builds, a separate but connected living space for extended family. The connecting bar is the design hinge. In the best H-shaped Barndominium designs of 2026, the central connecting section houses the entry, a mudroom, or a breezeway, a transitional zone that links the 2 wings without forcing residents to walk through one functional zone to reach another. This connecting bar is often where the most dramatic architectural moment happens: vaulted ceilings, clear story windows, or an open breezeway that catches prevailing breezes and passively cools both wings.
the structural reality. An H-shape, like the U-shape, requires multiple roof and wall runs meeting at structural junctions, typically 4 internal corners compared to the U-shape's 2. This places the H-shape's cost premium slightly higher than the U-shape in most 2026 markets, typically 10 to 18% above a rectangular equivalent, depending on how elaborate the connecting bar design is. What you get for that premium: 2 genuinely separate outdoor zones rather than 1 shared courtyard, functional separation between living and working or between generations that the U-shape's single wrapped courtyard cannot match, and a floor plan that works exceptionally well on long, narrow rural blocks where a U-shape's wider footprint simply won't fit.
The direct comparison, where each one wins. Let's put them head to head on the factors that actually matter when you're deciding. Privacy and outdoor space, the U-shape wins decisively here. A single courtyard wrapped on 3 sides by the building is dramatically more private and more sheltered than either of the H-shape's 2 open-sided yards. If outdoor living and entertaining in a protected, intimate space is the priority, the U-shape delivers an experience the H-shape cannot replicate. Functional separation. The H-shape wins here just as decisively. If you need a workshop that feels genuinely separate from living space, a guest wing for extended family, or a home business operation that shouldn't bleed into your living zones, the H-shape's 2 distinct wings connected by a single transitional bar creates separation that the U-shape's wrapped courtyard design actively works against. Site flexibility. The H-shape wins on narrow or long rural blocks. Because its footprint is fundamentally linear, 2 parallel wings, it fits comfortably on sites where a U-shape's wider 3-sided footprint would consume too much frontage. The U-shape needs a more generous, squarer site to wrap its courtyard comfortably. Natural light. Both shapes perform well, but differently. The U-shape delivers light from 3 directions into a shared central space, creating a unified bright core to the home. The H-shape delivers light into 2 separate wings independently, meaning each wing can be optimized for its own orientation regardless of what the other wing needs. Construction cost. The U-shape is typically 2 to 5% cheaper to build than an equivalent H-shape in 2026, owing to its slightly simpler structural geometry: 2 internal cores instead of 4, and 1 continuous courtyard rather than 2 separate yard zones requiring independent landscaping and boundary treatment. Resale and rental flexibility? The H-shape wins here just in 2026's market. Because its wings are more easily separated functionally, H-shaped Barndominiums are increasingly being designed in 2026 with 1 wing convertible into a fully self-contained rental suite or ADU, a flexibility that adds significant appraised value and income potential that the U-shape's interconnected courtyard design makes more difficult to achieve.
And here it is, the 3-question test. And here it is, the framework I promised you, 3 questions that tell you instantly which shape is right for your build. Question 1. What is the primary use of your outdoor space? If the answer is intimate family entertaining, a protected garden, or a quiet, private retreat that feels enclosed and sheltered, the U-shape's wrapped courtyard wins every time. If the answer is functional outdoor work zones, separate yard spaces for different household activities, or simply more total usable yard area split across 2 zones, the H-shape wins. Question 2. Do you need genuine functional separation inside the home? If you're running a home business, housing extended family, planning a workshop that needs to feel disconnected from living space, or considering a future rental suite, the H-shape's 2 distinct wings are built for exactly this. If your household functions as one unified living group with no need for separation, the U-shape's connected courtyard design serves that unity beautifully. Question 3. What does your specific block of land actually allow? Measure your site. A wide, relatively square block accommodates a U-shape's 3-sided footprint comfortably. A narrow or elongated rural block almost always favors the H-shape's linear 2-wing geometry. In 2026, more Barndominium projects fail to reach their design potential because of a site shape mismatch than for any other single reason. Let your land decide before your Pinterest board does. Answer those 3 questions honestly, and the right shape becomes obvious almost every single time.
The U-shape. A private wrapped courtyard, unified natural light, slightly lower build cost, and the most intimate outdoor living experience available in Barndominium design. The H-shape. Genuine functional separation, exceptional site flexibility on narrow blocks, 2 independent outdoor zones, and the strongest rental and resale flexibility in 2026's market. Neither shape is universally better. The right answer is the one that matches your land, your lifestyle, and your long-term plans, not the one that simply looked best in a photo. If this comparison gave you clarity on your own build, please hit that like button right now. Drop a comment below, U-shape or H-shape, and why. I read every single one. Subscribe and hit the bell. New content every week. Build the shape that fits your life, not just your eye. See you in the next one.